Kelly, and this is Round Trip with Kelly and Kelly, your go-to podcast for unforgettable travel stories, top tips, and all the adventures you've been waiting for. And I was on an adventure to Alaska, and I want to talk about it because it was incredible. So I brought on an expert with Princess Cruises, the cruise line I went on, talk about this incredible adventure. Okay. All right, everybody. So I went on an Alaska cruise this summer in July. It's been my bucket list thing. Never had a chance. Just did it. I am so excited to talk about it and have Mary Jacquel on the show. She's the director of AK Alaska Planning, I would imagine, and marketing for Princess Cruises. And you know everything about Alaska. So welcome to the show. Oh my God, I'm just so excited to talk to you.
Oh, I'm
It's
so
so
excited to
fun.
be here, Colleen. Thank you so much for having me. Obviously, love all things Alaska, and I want to hear all the details about your trip. How
Well,
was it?
first tell oh, well, I mean, it's amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. It was perfection, and they even ordered the weather. The weather was, like, perfect,
We
right?
try
I
to
was
do that
like
for folks, right?
yeah, I was like, "The princess, like, ordered the weather because it was amazing." But tell us a little bit about you, Mary, so people know about
Yeah.
you, and then what you do with Princess, and,
Okay.
because you are an Alaska cruise expert as well, correct?
I
Yeah,
attempt to be an expert. Expert is a high bar to
yeah,
achieve, right? So I'm
yeah.
always trying to reach that status, but I'm still on my journey. Um,
Hold on.
is that
I should know better. Of course, it's spam. Okay, keep going. Start again. Good thing it's recorded.
okay?
Okay. Yes. Sorry.
We had our little
Yeah.
theme music here as well. Cue the
There we
music.
go.
Anyways, okay.
I guess so.
So, no, all good. So, I'm up here in Juneau, Alaska. I absolutely love all things Alaska. So, somewhere along the last decade, I got super excited about the wildlife here. So, I specifically love going out, taking photos of whales, orcas, eagles, all the above. And I stayed here in Juneau. So, I live here full time. And for Princess, I help design the itineraries, really market the product itself. And I really love when we can bring a holistic portfolio of what we offer here in Alaska to the market. So you went on an Alaska cruise. We also offer cruise tours, which helps immerse our customers into kind of deeper Alaska, right? So you're in the interior. So most people know that as Anchorage, Fairbanks, Kenai, etc. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Wow. Okay. So you know everything about Alaska and Princess. And what's, well, I would say so. But what's interesting is Princess is known for their Alaskan cruises. And
Yes.
that's something that was new to me. Tell us why.
So such a great question. We've been in Alaska for quite some time, right? So we've got a legacy, we have the history, but I think one of the reasons why Princess really differentiates in this space is because we've built our Alaska experience over time. So I'm going to use this lodge experience as an example. We have a lodge called Mount McKinley Lodge, and it's kind of about 2 hours outside of Anchorage, 2 hours outside of Denali, give or take. And that lodge didn't exist until Princess decided that was a spot for guests to be able to see Denali the mountain. And so we built that. So we own and operate all of our assets here in Alaska. And so we've invested a lot time, energy, funding, etc. So here in Alaska, we're known for it because we really are Alaska.
And you're about the environment as well, because when I went on a cruise line, I was really
Uh,
impressed with how you're protecting the environment and the people of Alaska. Tell us more about that, because that was an incredible fact to discover.
no, sustainability ends up being something we are focused on, right? So as we bring ships up here, they are powered by more specifically the right fuel type. Things become more efficient for us. We're able to really dive into kind of the elements of Alaska. And so you'll see us do some recycling, reusing. We try to minimize paper products on land when possible. We still want to ensure that our guests have a very positive Princess experience. And so finding that balance is always the art and the science. And we do our best, though, to ensure that what we do, the experience the folks have, it is based on the foundation of being as sustainable as possible.
See, I love seeing that with a cruise line, the sustainability, which was awesome. I also love unpacking once. That was I mean, we get there with all our things and our, our Alaska clothes, and we unpacked once, and that was
Mhm.
incredible. But tell us about, and I can talk about my experience
Yeah,
as well.
of
But tell
course.
us about what a Alaska cruise looks like for people that are like, oh, I should take that Alaska cruise, but what does that look like? 7 days? What are we going to do?
Yeah, 7 days. Wow, it seems like a full week, right? You're like, "Oh, for a full week, is
Yeah.
that enough? Is that too much?" I'm not 100% sure. So, what it looks like is you'll disembark or embark, I should say, out of one of our ports that we sail out of. So, usually it's San Francisco. We have a few voyages out of LA, Seattle, and Vancouver. Or if you're doing a cruise tour, sometimes you'll embark out of Whittier. And you'll sail inside the inside passage. You'll stop at usually one of these three towns, if not multiple, which is Juneau, Ketchikan, and Skagway. There are some other ports we stop at, like inside or Icy Strait Point. A lot of times we'll take guests to Glacier Bay National Park, which is this incredible experience. I just saw your eyes light up with that one.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty rare. I was
Yeah.
so shocked we were able to do that. There's
Hmm.
only a couple ships that can go in there, right, at a time?
Yes,
Is that correct?
exactly. Yep, and so Princess has a lot of these permits. So everything up here is regulated, or most things are regulated. And so Princess has over time gathered permits that allows us to go into Glacier Bay, other places, in Southeast Alaska. But it's something special that we can offer our guests. We do take the most people to Glacier Bay National Park, but the experience in of itself, it's one of those experiences that you hear people talk about
Yeah.
time and time again, right? Because it's all encompassing. You spend the day looking at the glaciers. There's a Glacier Bay ranger that will come on board and give a talk about the space, the location, what's important about the environment. So it really is a holistic experience that does take a good chunk of the day.
It's interesting. You're talking about the glacier that we saw from also the balcony, correct? The
Yes.
so I I read about it on these blogs, and everybody's like, "You
Mhm.
cannot not do this. It's amazing." But until you're there and you're
Uh-huh.
actually seeing it, it's like, I don't know, it was a total gift that we were given. We were out on the balcony. Oh, we had this, brunch ordered to the balcony. I mean, I felt very spoiled. I did. Of course, we had mimosas at 10 o'clock because you can, it's Alaska, why not?
Right.
Yeah, and then we just saw this beautiful glacier and animals, and it was just, peaceful, and I mean, really, I unless you see it, it's really hard to explain. It's one of those things. It's a gift.
Exactly.
That's all I keep
Exactly.
saying. It's stunningly beautiful and rare, very
And
rare.
for
So
you, were you amazed by how blue the ice was from it for the glacier?
yes, yes, I was. I guess I thought it would be white. I don't
Yeah.
know what I was thinking. I need to have done more science classes, I think, 'cause I didn't know why was it blue? What is
You're
it?
not alone, right? So that's something we hear a lot from folks who have the opportunity to see the glaciers. The ice is so compact that it makes it a deeper blue, and it's something that
Oh,
once you're there, you don't understand it until you see it. Like you're talking about, a lot of it's just that feeling that you get from being surrounded in this beautiful location. So a lot of people will, just to go back to that, a lot of people will think, oh, snow, cold, white, right? And
yeah,
so then
yeah.
they're like, wait a minute, it's all blue. So
Oh my
it
goodness.
totally makes sense why you thought that.
Okay, and so speaking of that, we did get off the ship, but I wanna
Ah,
talk about the ship. Well, the ship was fantastic. There was a lot of people because it was over the 4th of July weekend, but I
okay.
didn't feel like there was a lot of people. There
Mhm.
was so much room and so much space, I could have sworn it was half full. But I wanna talk about the ship and all the amenities because there were many, including, a giant sundae that was incredible. That's for another story, but also the excursions. So can you tell everybody about the excursions? Because we got off the ship,
Okay.
um, and again, we'll talk about on the ship, but we got off the ship and the excursions were incredible. We took a, train ride way up the mountains
Oh,
and it
nice.
was
Okay.
oh, it was beautiful, and it was an old-fashioned kinda train, but it's kinda modern feel, and we saw animals and bears, and it was unbelievable, and then we had, like, a little lunch outside, and it was really great for, like, grandparents, there was some little kids even on it. So can you talk about the excursions that Princess offers? Because we
Of
had a great
course.
time on ours.
I love that you took the White Pass Rail. Was that in Skagway? Is that the
Yes, it was in
yeah.
Skagway. Oh my god, the cutest town, the
I
cutest town.
know.
Yeah,
Really built during the, gold rush era, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so we one amazing part about having such an incredible legacy in Alaska is that we've worked with our shore excursion operators year over year for decades, and so there are these mom and pop stores or shops really that really know their craft. They know a lot about Alaska. They do this year over year, and they have something to offer, a story to tell, something to share with the world. And part of our legacy is working with these people to help bring that experience to our guests. And that's not a short term play, right? That is like a decade over decade over decade of refinement and working with folks. And so we take our shore excursion or shore tours very seriously. So for Alaska and for Juneau specifically, I'll talk about, there are three that I just really love. So Juneau is really known for its whale watching. So if you I don't know if you did that on your trip, but here in Juneau, if you take any kind of excursion, I would absolutely recommend the whale watching. There's humpback whales that come up. They're here feeding, so oftentimes you'll see them breaching. And if you're really lucky, you might see the bubble net feeding, which is when the collective group of whales will corral the bait and then kind of come up out of the water in a feeding frenzy. A couple of other excursions that I personally love is there's a helicopter tour that will take you above the glaciers, land on a glacier, and you get to witness some dog sledding. So that's really popular with our guests. And then the third one I'll touch on is a float plane. So get on a smaller float plane, you take off from the water, and they take you through the mountains and different glaciers. So you can see up to 5 different glaciers. And then they land at this small lodge, and it's called the Taku Lodge. And Taku Lodge was built a very, very long time ago by this woman who she did a lot with sled dogs, right? And when you land there and you get to walk into this lodge and you have a salmon bake and lunch, you feel like you're a part of this family. You feel like you're a part of the history of the Taki Lodge. And that is just a very unique experience that we hear time and time again from our guests. It just added a whole new dimension to their travel. So in your earlier question, you're talking about, hey, what does a cruise even look
Yeah.
like, right? So throughout the entire 7 days, you will stop along some of these Southeast Alaska port towns, and each experience can be customized to what you like, right? So we have tours that just focus on food. We have tours that focus on activities, right? If you like to bike or if you like to go hiking, etc. You can kind of fill your itinerary with things that you really like to do. And it's really interesting because oftentimes people think, wow, there's no kids that go up to Alaska. But ironically, it's
Oh,
during the time when kids are off of school. So what you see is a lot of multi-gen travel up here, and it's a really awesome experience for people who want to go with their grandma and the mom and dad, right, and the kids, and have that holistic family experience, being able to customize with different shore excursions.
and I thought that was incredible because, like you said,
Yeah.
there were grandparents, there were grandkids, and watching them bond, there was a lot of, like, multi-gen
Aw.
groups. It was
Yeah.
great because it was easy for them to get around, and they
Hmm.
were teaching them history too, right? The kids
Yeah.
didn't know they were being educated, they just thought it was fun. Uh But, you could see it, and they were walking around the town. What I loved was also the local, artists that you've really,
Yes.
like, kept that alive. The shops have the local artists, which was not just a touristy place, it was just, handmade items. Like you said, Juneau with whale watching, we didn't do that. I did see whales from the ship, so I was covered
Ooh,
there.
nice.
But, yeah, but we were supposed to go on the helicopter tour, but it was a
Okay.
little cloudy, and so they
Uh,
chose, which I was proud of them choosing, choose safety, over
Safety first.
anything else. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
I've
feel
heard
like
it's
that's your
incredible.
calling. I feel like that's your calling though, Colleen. You have to come back, right? You have to go you have to come back so
Uh,
you can try
yeah.
the helicopter tour.
Could you
Yeah.
twist could you twist my arm? Like, my
Yeah.
husband went crazy for Alaska. I did too. I love the nature feel. It just was like you were seeing things that you don't see. But
Mhm.
yeah, and I also have been on a lot of cruise ships, all
Okay.
different brands. But Princess was again, I felt like, I wasn't on a crowded ship. It felt like
Yeah,
there was lots of room, even though it was a very full ship because it's July 4th, and then I had a balcony, which I you can have an
nice.
inside cabin, like, my husband's like, "I take an inside cabin, I don't care, I'm outside the whole time." But me, I like the balcony because, you know, there's so many beautiful views of Alaska, and you can have your coffee out there,
Right.
but also the room, I'm sorry, but as a woman, like my husband had like 5 shirts and maybe a jacket or whatever he had. I'm like, "Where do I put my makeup? Where do I put," and there was all these drawers. Everything was
Yep.
right there. They even had like a little makeup mirror, and I know this might not be important to a lot of people, but while my husband was showering, there's like a place I could blow dry my hair. It was really spacious. It was awesome.
That
And
is
the
great.
service, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, the people on board, that probably was my favorite part. They were
Uh-huh.
so kind. Everybody was always smiling. Everybody's there to help you. Um,
Mhm.
so it makes for a great vacation because, you've got guidance if you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do. Everybody was there, like, right there, like, "Oh, what can we do? Where can we guide you to?" And there were shows there too. So when we were the day at sea, sometimes the day at sea is one of my favorites because you're like, "Oh, I get to just enjoy all the amenities."
Mhm.
We did a show. We did oh gosh, it was like a question and answer type thing, which I failed at miserably. Um, a trivia night, yeah, I didn't do well, but it was fun. And then we did, what was the other thing? Oh gosh, they had these beautiful Sundays. The restaurants. Okay, wait, wait.
Your eyes
I
just lit up.
Yeah, I'm married to a former restaurateur, so, like, he's at the
Okay.
spots, and, I would like can we talk about the restaurants really fast?
Yes,
They were
of course.
incredible. We did 360, the experience.
Oh, okay, that is next level, isn't it?
Okay, so for those who don't know, there's these specialty restaurants. Definitely put these on your list. 360. I mean, how do you explain that in words? I have it on video. Can you explain it, Mary,
It's so
what
funny
that
you
was
say that
like?
because when you try to describe it, it's a little bit like Alaska, right? It's one of those experiences that has to be felt, but I think the best way to think about it is it literally is a 360 experience. So we try to provide a destination focused meal with multiple courses that touches on multiple sensories at once. So there will be times where there's visuals all around you, so videos playing. There are times when there's a digital experience right on the table in front of you that you can interact with. And then there's sensory experiences, right? So you're eating and you're drinking and the food is paired perfectly with the storyline. There's also scents that you'll have kind of be around you as well. So it really is a full on immersive experience and it's very intimate, right? So it's something that you get to experience with just the folks in the room with you and your servers. So it is a next level experience, Colleen. I'm so
I
glad
I
you had
mean, I was blown away. I've never seen anything like that before. When
that.
we were
Uh-huh.
eating, everybody, so you're surrounded by these video, I guess screens, you'd call them, and then all of a sudden on your plate, let's say they're talking about honey. There it looks like there's honeybees on your plate, and it's digital, it's video, and you can touch it, and the bees move. But they don't bite you because 'cause they're digital, and, it was incredible. It was incredible, and the food was just locally sourced, it just amazing. So that's
Mhm.
one of the specialty restaurants on board, Princess, which I've never seen on another cruise ship, even to this day. And, of course, there's the Italian restaurant, which, I mean, I'm an Italian fan, so I mean, count me in. The steak restaurant and, of course, the seafood restaurant because 'cause you're in Alaska. But they also have the dining where you don't have to go to the specialty restaurant, and that was amazing. The breakfast too. I mean, can you tell I had a good time? I don't know.
I love hearing these points you're hitting on, right? Because one thing that we consistently hear is the princess service is bar none, right? When you get on the ship, to your point, everyone's smiling, they're being helpful, they're asking like, do you need help getting to your room, or what is it that I can do to make your day better? And it's hard to translate that into real marketing, right? So just talking about the service and hearing you say that, it lights me up inside. It makes me really happy because our onboard teams, they work really hard to make sure that our guests get that level of service. So I am thrilled to hear you say that. And of course, the dining experience, that is something that everybody loves. So really
Yeah.
great to hear you touch on that.
Oh, yeah, it was incredible, but I know,
Awesome.
I'm looking for a new cruise, and it's not just
Ooh.
Alaska. I know your specialty is Alaska, but
Yeah.
they don't just obviously go to Alaska. What are
Yeah.
the other cruises people can take, with Princess?
So I would say we go to a lot of the major destinations in the world, right? So you've got Mexico, Hawaii, we internationally, Japan, uh, really the Caribbean, all of these other locations. So Princess is a major player in those locations. One other thing I'd hit on, Colleen, if you're looking for another unique Alaska experience, I'm going to use Alaska again. Another product that we offer that really differentiates us is our cruise tour. So
I was gonna ask you about that.
yeah.
I was like,
Oh, good. So,
what is that?"
yeah, so assume that you kind of take a 7-day voyage like you did, right? But instead of going round trip, you kind of go from Vancouver and you'll end in the Anchorage Whittier area. And then from there, we take you via the Alaska Railroad that'll get you deeper into Alaska. And you get to go to Denali National Park. So that is one of the core locations that folks want to go to. And we have about 5 different lodges that on their cruise tour experience, you get to stay at a few of them. So that is something that if you're up for it, round two might be calling your name.
Yeah, yeah, so Denali has been on my list for about 6 years, literally,
Nice.
literally. And my parents actually did that railroad.
Oh, really?
So I
Okay.
think they may have done it with Princess Cruises, I'm not really sure,
Nice.
but my mother I is obsessed with it to this day. She's like, "Are you gonna do the tour?" And I so we didn't have time, but next time, yes, I think I must have to come back again. Okay,
Yes,
Mary, is it
I
okay?
do think that as
Okay,
well. But yeah, to answer, kind of
alright.
go back to your original question, we go all over the place.
Yeah,
So absolutely, kind of look for our name in whichever destination you're really going to. So you're really
and
welcome.
there's a new ship coming, Mary, the Star
There is.
Princess.
That's what I've heard too. Yes. Yes. She
What's
will
that about?
be in Alaska in 2026. So, one of the core things we want to talk through is Star. Sorry, I should say the name of the ship because that's usually helpful, right?
Okay, you can
Star,
sorry,
she's
yeah.
the sister ship to Sun. So, she is LNG powered. She's absolutely stunning. She has the huge dome on top, which a lot of people know about. The one thing that I think folks haven't heard too much yet is that she doesn't have any obstructed cabins. So you've been on a cruise, many cruises before, Colleen, and
Mhm,
some of those rooms, they may have like a lifeboat in front of the
yeah,
location or something like that. But Star doesn't have that, and she is an incredible ship to have a lot of folks get balcony rooms. As you mentioned earlier, yep, as you mentioned earlier, Alaska is one of those destinations that you people love to see from a balcony because
yeah,
there's something to see. We talk about some of these glaciers that are well known, so Glacier Bay National Park, Hubbard Glacier, College Fjord, but there are also other glaciers that you can see as you traverse through Southeast Alaska. If I was to walk from here and go up a few miles, you would see Eagle Glacier. So you can see that Eagle Glacier from the water, and it's something that our guests will see as well. So
wow,
Star is
okay,
a
so
fantastic ship and will do really, really well in
and
Alaska.
that's coming this spring, the Star Princess.
Star Princess will
Yeah,
be in Alaska in 2026. Yep.
okay, it's always a new ship, it's impressive, awesome. All
We
right, a
try to.
couple
Mhm.
sorry, go ahead, Mary,
Oh
yeah.
no, I was gonna say we just try to bring the best for our guests. So
Oh, I like that, it rhymes.
it
It's
does,
true,
and I wasn't
um,
even trying to have it rhyme.
and that's the thing about me is I will not talk about destination unless it's something I truly believe in, and I just
Mhm.
had the best time again as and my husband's still talking about it, which is kinda
Aw.
driving me crazy, but that's okay. We'll just have to come again. Okay, but a couple class questions, and this is more
Yeah.
because you are definitely a cruise expert. What are some tips for first-time cruisers? Just a few, because it is confusing to cruise.
It is very confusing. So, just like anything else in terms of traveling, kind of do some very light research, right? So I think you even mentioned this before. You're looking at forums, maybe Facebook or TikTok, just getting a sense of what can you expect. So start to get a sense of what the general market is saying. But when it comes to, once you made that decision to go to Alaska or go with Princess, a couple of other things can be pretty helpful. One of those things is if you're working with a travel advisor, obviously they have some knowledge that they can share your way. Our website is full, busting at the seams with information. It's definitely something you want to check out as well. One thing that we get a lot of questions about is, what do I pack? What do I wear? What should I kind of
Yes.
expect? right? Like the whole packing piece of it.
Yes. So, yeah,
And
it's not confusing to cruise everybody, so I didn't mean that. It's just
yeah,
confusing, like, what do I wear,
well,
right?
exactly. Well, and you go from like perhaps a nicer dinner or something on ship, and then all of a sudden you're out hiking in the middle of Alaska, right? So there it is a bit of a shuffle. So one way I like to think about it is dress in layers. Every day have some type of layer because here in Southeast it can go from like 50 degrees and raining to like 75 degrees and super sunny. And during the summer, longest time of the years, right? I think summer solstice is towards the end of June. And so those are really long days when the sun can be out for a really long time,
Mm.
which heats everything up. And so we also live in Juneau, at least, kind of in a rainforest, right? So it rains a whole bunch here. So you also want to have like a lighter rain gear, have multiple layers, multiple outfits, for lack of better terms. And then one of the key things is make sure whatever shoes you wear are sturdy and they're comfortable because you will be
Yeah.
doing some walking once you get off the ship.
Yeah, I had some sturdy shoes. I made sure of that just in case it was a little slippery. But
Yeah.
I had packing list from Princess, which I
Nice.
actually used. Yeah, I mean, because they would know. And then I
Right.
also just say I followed that, and then I did the Cruise Ready app, and that
Oh, cool.
was awesome because so everybody, if you're just like joining us, there's a Cruise Ready app that you want to apply for or sign up for, I guess is a better word, and it just makes everything easy. So when I got to the ship, Mary, I
Hmm.
thought I'd have all these long lines. I didn't. We just went on the ship because
Yeah.
we had everything. It was like,
Right.
"Wait, what? What happened in the old days of the long lines?" Nope, just walk down the ship. I was like, "This is great."
Yeah. Yep.
Life's
And I
good.
think, yeah, one other thing that we hear people talk about a lot is the medallion.
Yes, oh my
Yes.
gosh. And the cruise packages. Well, so the medallions, in case you don't know, it's what you wear, and then you literally don't have to bring a purse, anything. You just pay for
Mhm.
everything with the medallion, no credit cards, just in case you're a new cruiser, and that could get kinda dangerous, but I got the pack I got the packages, and that paid off. The drink packages,
Oh, perfect.
what were the other packages? Oh, like, if you've got kids, teenagers or whatever, and they eat a lot, ice cream, whatever. It was I didn't have them with me, but, the packages really paid off because I didn't have to worry about it.
Yep.
So, it was already paid for, so it was great, but,
I'm so
so
glad to
much
hear
to
you
do.
say that. Yeah.
Yeah, did I miss anything that because there's so much to talk about. The sanctuary, that was lovely for adults. Did I miss anything? I'm sure I missed a lot about our conversation about Princess in Alaska, but if you wanna jump in here and tell us that I something I missed, I'm sure there's something.
No, I mean, this
Yeah?
has been great. So I would say the only other item I would try to think of, maybe, I mean, we kind of chatted through the packing. I would say the other thing, and this is just me loving wildlife, right? But one really awesome aspect of going through Southeast on a cruise is you see kind of the marine wildlife, right? So it sounded like you saw a whale from the ship itself.
Mhm.
Obviously, we have eagles, seals, otters, those kinds of things. But when
Yeah.
you move into the interior, so if you go on a cruise tour, the land portion as well, you typically get to see moose, or you'll see bears, or you'll see wolves, and some of the more furry animals, for lack of better terms. So going on a cruise tour, it also extends your ability and exposure to see some of these other animals. So
We did
it's
see a lot more wildlife, and we loved it. It's
yeah.
something I don't see in Chicago at all. There's
Oh
not a lot
yeah.
of that. A lot of squirrels, not a lot of that. Where can people find out more information like the cruise I did or other cruises coming up?
Yes. So it can be a little bit overwhelming, right? There's so much information out there. Honestly, always talk with folks who are in your close circle, right? What do they recommend? Take a look online. What we like to do from a princess standpoint is provide as much information as possible. And you can see that come to life on our website and obviously with our travel advisors and our sales team. So they know the product the absolute best, and they can kind of guide folks through the selection of the voyage, what you want to see, that kind of thing, and make sure that it's really customized for what you want to do. Another thing we're standing up though is our Alaska experts line. So if you go on princess.com, or if you talk with your travel advisor, they can get you to real humans who know a lot about Alaska.
Oh my god.
I see your eyes widen up,
What?
right?
You can talk to a person?
Right? So
That's
it's
awesome.
a really unique offering for us. We're setting it up, and it's currently something that folks can go online and really get to a more specific area of the Alaska product. So some
Oh
people
my
have,
goodness.
very specific questions like what time of day will we be leaving this? Where this location? Where will we be going here, here, and here? Will we be able to see this, this, and this? So our Alaska Experts line is designed to ensure that people really know what the product is, really helping to set expectations and ensuring that the guest has the best experience possible.
That says a lot about Princess because there's nothing like talking to a person, especially when you're gonna take a cruise. So, thank you. Tell them thank you for that because I will be calling them.
Will do.
Thank you a lot. All right, so I also know the Star Princess is coming up, and that's super exciting, but I'm guessing there's some more exciting things, and if you wanna give us some inside scoop, we'd love it.
Yeah, of course. So Alaska 2027 is now open for sale. And so while that might feel a little bit further out, we have people who will be booking. And so because of that, it's one of those things where you go in 2026, you go in 2027. We see folks who will go year over year over year. So right now we have the best inventory open for sale for 2027. Definitely a good time to go ahead and book.
You know, you should book now, especially if you've got multi-gen because you've got all these different
Mhm.
schedules. So planning out to 2027 is a great idea, puts it on their books, and, then you're going to Alaska or wherever else on a cruise as a family. So,
Yep,
good
exactly.
idea.
Yeah, and we see a lot of people who celebrate milestones up here, right? So a wedding anniversary or a graduation. Obviously, in Alaska, we see those celebrations happen, but then obviously anywhere in the world, right? So as you mentioned, Colleen, like
Yeah.
touching in different destinations, we see that wherever we sail. So definitely time to go ahead and have folks book.
Again, if you want to book the cruise that I went on or any other cruise, princess.com or at Princess Cruises is what you want to follow. So, thank you, Mary. This was awesome. Great to talk to you, and yeah, so fun revisiting Alaska. So, thank
So
you.
grateful for the time, Colleen. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to have you up here again.
Yes, I'll be talking to a travel expert for sure.
Perfect.
That was so awesome talking to Mary because I really had an amazing time on this Alaskan cruise. It was a bucket list thing for me. So if you get a chance, put it on your list. But yeah, it went on long because I couldn't stop talking about it. But anyway, thanks for listening to Round Trip with Colleen Kelly. For more information, follow us on at Round Trip Colleen Kelly on all socials. You can also visit roundtripcolleenkelly.com for more information and travel articles. And if you'd like to get in touch, you can actually get in touch with us at roundtripcolleenkelly@gmail.com. I promise to try to answer your email. Please follow, subscribe, and leave us a comment here if you'd like. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.